Hey guys, we're at BZ today. I don't know if you've checked out the shop, but if you haven't, here it is. I'm just going to flip the screen. All your Viper VX range. You've got some paintball supplies there, along with some regulator dials. Yeah, you got your Viper VX range. You've got all your Rebel BBs here, along with some ASG blasters, some different brands there. Infinity, G&G. Definitely recommend the Rebels. We're using these now and can't fault them. Got all your combat tactical Viper clothing here. Some neutral holsters, Deadly Customs. Coming on to the face protection, you've got your dye masks, you've got your HK Army masks, JT, you've got your Flex 8s, all pretty cool here. Goes onto the paintball on the other side of the shop. And if we come back to this side, you've got the beautiful gun wall at the back, stocking things from Neutral Defenders all the way up to your KWAs, your B&Ts, Lance Tacticals. Nice selection of upgrades and accessories for your rifles. Gate Titans, Gate Asters, the Blue Links, the Eon, the Pulsars, Warfets. You've got your Ace Tech tracers here, along with some others. You've got your chronographs. And then onto the scope section. Be sure to check out the Wolf scopes that they've got. The Wolf scopes are a great alternative at a great price to your Lance Tacticals, your Neutrals, and your Vortex ones as well. Nice, crisp, clear scope, crisp, clear image. And then onto some more, you've got your RDSs, holographics, sight protectors, your Lance Tacticals, your Neutrals, and your Vortexes again. And then coming over to this side, we've got some more parts, holsters, some Deadly Customs, the patches, more accessories here. You've got your torches, your pet box, got some PTS stocks, hand guards and rails, and then onto some more iPro. And down to the bottom there, and they're massive stock of Maple Leaf. They are a Maple Leaf dealer now as well, so be sure to check them out. Bookings, nubs, barrels, accessories, parts. What else you got, Joe? Everything pretty much Maple Leaf.
That's it, pretty much everything from Maple Leaf. We are bringing more and more stuff in. Also a lot of like chamber sets as well, in all the different barrel lengths. We don't stock everything yet, we're just bringing it in as much as we can at a time.
Got some nice max parts in there as well, haven't you? Some hot chambers and triggers.
MTW triggers as well now, all your mag releases, each side of trigger, all three electric RW units, cylinder heads, piston heads, all your different cylinders, all your different nozzle lengths, including your adjustable one. Yeah, absolutely loads of parts, everything you should need to be able to. All your Maple Leaf parts as well, PTS flash hiders, spring straps for everyone, your modular suppressors from Maple Leaf, so the ones that you can completely adjust the length on, everything.
Fantastic, great stuff. I can see you've got the new Vorsk VMP-1 there.
Yeah, that's it, so they're on stock now, so we've got the black, dual tone and tan all in both the 1 and the 1X. The 1X obviously comes with both suppressor and some extra an extra magazine, so 2 in total.
Yep.
Fantastic little beast of them.
Yeah, great stuff, great stuff. And then they've got some more Wiley X range protective glasses here. What do you recommend? Would you recommend the Wiley X? Goods?
Definitely, yeah. I would. I personally wear the Valors. That the same. It's one of the two. I can't. They both look the same to me. But yeah, with the Rust lens as well, I find the Rust lens absolutely fantastic. Imagine if like you're watching some like Black Hawk Down.
Thank you.
It's like that. It's got that kind of filter on it, and you take it off at the end of the day, and it's so depressing because it looks so nice the rest of the time.
Colourful, yeah. And you can change the lenses on that. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's it. So it's fully changeable lenses, especially with things like the Sabres. We do the full range of Sabre lenses, so you can buy just the clears to start with, and if you decide you want a yellow or pink, Rust lens, whatever you want, buy it.
So whatever takes your fancy.
Yeah, exactly.
Cracking stuff. Right then, Joe, can you just talk us through what you're going to be doing with the gun today?
Certainly. So we're replacing the normal tanker style stock with a buff tube. This is KWA's own one. The wiring does run underneath, so it's completely uninterrupted with battery space in the middle. With that, we'll be able to fit a PTS EPSE enhanced polymer stock compact.
Cool.
Keep it nice and tight to the gun.
Yep.
We're also going to change the hot rubber nub out for a Maple Leaf Omega nub and their standard Macon in 60 degree.
Benefits of that?
The main benefits really, I mean what I really love about Maple Leaf's rubbers is that the inside of them is concave to actually match the shape of the BB, and especially using their Omega nub, which you might not be able to see, but again matches that concave shape. Gives a really nice patch of contact to the BB, really nice even amounts of hop. I personally use their MR hop rubber, their maximum range hop rubber. it'll lift fours. Like, they're just such an incredibly good hop rubber. So
Excellent.
yeah, one of those all day long, especially for the accuracy boost you get from it as well. Yeah, and then externally wise, we'll be fitting a Gen 2 UH1 from Vortex, their Razor. This goes all the way down to be compatible with night vision, so really low levels.
Yep.
No visible anything from the front when you're looking down it, so there's no visible like red dot laser, anything. And then a new Pro PEG 15, just as I say, because it does have the working IR on there, so for the nods users to actually work with it.
Yeah, fantastic. Great stuff. Alright, thanks for that, Joe. So first things first, what we're going to do, we're going to be changing the hop or the stock?
We'll do the stock because it's the easiest part to do first.
Yeah.
As I say, there's only 4 small screws. I've got my little magnet here, the plate, I say the one main buffer tube screw which isn't long in these.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we need to change out, so we will start with that. So
Great stuff.
go with that. And then all these will be spares for anything else you really want to do with them.
Great stuff. So I'd say this is quite a good, would you say this is a good modification to do if you want to get a bit more of a longer stock for the taller and more broader players, would you say? Or?
Yeah, that's it. I mean, to be fair, the tank stock does give you a nice amount of like movement in it. It's nice that you can do everything one hand as well. You don't need 2 hands to be able to operate the stock as you will on most M4 stocks.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but the benefits you really get with it is just that unique look. Because as I say, your Mod 2s, your QRFs, all that come with the tanker style stock. If you don't just adapt it, which doesn't take long at all.
Yeah, nice, easy fit there.
It just makes it look. It's just something completely different, which is just individuality is such an important thing.
And it's still accessible if you want to change the spring tension on it, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, that's it. So they design the length of the key that comes in the box for the spring tension. They design it to work with this length of stock.
Yep.
So it's not like you're restricting yourself having to take the stock off each time. There's no restriction there.
It just works, which is
it just
nice.
works,
Yeah,
exactly
which is
that. Yeah.
good. Yeah, so we've been stocking some KWAs for quite some time now. We like all the metal bodies. Cause am I right in saying the gearbox the majority of the time, other than the AG3s, is pretty much the same gearbox?
Exactly, that's it. So the layout is always the same. You could take a gearbox out of a T10, for example, and it's going to fit inside your TK45. There's no change there whatsoever. Get that bit in.
No worries. Good stuff. And then obviously the difference between, like, let's say the VM4T6, which is the metal-bodied version, with these the PDW stock, compared to the Eve 4. Again, same gearbox, just different. It's a polymer body.
So it is slightly different due to the fact the way the charging handle works. It does have some slight changes to it, but again, all the components that are internal, exactly the same.
Yep.
It's just slightly different. I think the shell is just very slightly different.
Okay.
It's got some bars on the side and just a little bit so it can fit together.
Good stuff. And what would you say your favourite KWA product is? I mean, I was speaking to you earlier and you said you had a rifle. What rifle do you run?
So I do have an Eve 9. As I say, being a tech myself, I have changed pretty much everything on it now. The only thing that's stock is the gearbox shell, to be fair. But yeah, the other thing that I do love from them is actually their gas range. So I do have one of the AK 74 SUs, the gas blowback.
Yep.
Lovely bit of kit. They just work fantastic. As I say, really gas efficient for what they are as well.
Yeah. And what is it? Is it a 48 round mag on that 74U, or is it?
No, it's with it being gas, it is a 35 round magazine on that.
35 round. And would you say they're quite efficient for gas mags?
Definitely, yeah. As I say, because so the way that a lot of people will do their strengthening is they'll put a bar down the middle. Other people do the smart design, which is they'll put strengthening screws into the side of the magazine, which basically gives you one much larger gas chamber. That's what they've done on the 74U compared to their own LM4 mags, and it just, that right refresh rate we'll call it for gas. It's just so much quicker.
Good. Well, that looks like you've done that relatively quickly, so that's a nice first modification to do. Let's see how it looks with the new stock on, shall we? Awesome. So yeah, definitely a nice modification. I've just had a quick feel of that, and it's much, for me anyway, it's much more comfortable.
Yeah.
So I would advise that to a lot of customers that are looking for something different for their Mod 2, their Ronin 47s, I imagine, the VM4s, all the...
Anything that has the tanker style stock in it, it will work on. Anything.
Sweet. So next we're going on to the hop units, also the Bucket and Omega nub. So do you want to show us how easy it is to do on one of these guns?
Certainly, yeah. Time as if you want, not really a problem. So first thing we'll do is we'll take the side body pin out. There. So your mock bolt plate on these is all captive to the upper receiver, to the gearbox, sorry. So yeah, make sure all of that comes out nice and neat together. Place that completely to one side. I say make sure you don't put it on top of this because these can
bend quite easily.
Very thin metal, so
yeah.
just be a little bit careful with it. That just pops up.
So what was that? Was that a plate just holding in the hop unit?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it just keeps, when fitting the receiver, for example, it just keeps it all together nice, neat and tidy. It's not necessary as such, so if for any reason it does become damaged over time, it's not necessary. It's just nice to have.
Nice to have. And with the, so going on to the hop unit, the barrel, the bucking, the barrels in the KWA, good, not good?
They're not bad. I mean, don't get me wrong, they're a brass barrel. They're never going to be anything to write home about. But, I mean, considering the fact that you can just change the hot rubber knob and it is actually a really accurate and really good gun. I mean, they are anyway, but just that kind of next level.
Yep.
Says that there must be something decent about the barrel. It's not like it's total garbage out the box.
Yeah.
It's not any like cheap Chinese or anything.
No.
It's actually it's a decent material.
Good material. And the stock KWA barrels, are they all 603, 604?
I believe they're all 603. When doing like testing swapping out between other barrels, I've not seen much of an FPS change, for example. I've not had that confirmed by KWA. That is just my suspicion, to be completely honest with you.
Yep.
But I say during testing, that's what I believe it to be.
Okay.
So yeah, when changing out for something like another type, or you're not going to be super worried about increasing FPS, which a lot of players should be when they're changing parts out. It should just stay the same. But I mean, as I say, the benefit you do get with your QRF series is just you do get that tension to be able to change the spring up and down. So no matter what you change, you can then put a lighter spring in. We find that these come with around an M120. Put an M110 in, you can then just wind it up to where you want it to be.
Yeah, because obviously in different temperatures as well, you'll notice either a FPS increase, or sometimes the bucking gets a bit soft, so you could be over hopping a lot of the times as well.
Exactly, and to be fair, there are actually hot rubbers available on the market for that. So again, from Maple Leaf, they do their silicone line of hot rubbers. What they're designed to do is eliminate that first bit of cold having to work up through the temperature. So a lot of players will have noticed in winter when chronographing their guns that they will need to they'll need to no, their gun will just be shooting low, and they'll think, oh, something wrong with my gun. It's not, there's nothing wrong with your gun at all. It's just your hot rubber essentially needs to warm up.
Okay.
Essentially almost like a racing tyre kind of thing. I know it sounds daft to say it like that, but basically the same thing.
I think we all understood what you meant, yeah, definitely.
I certainly hope so.
So these silicone ones, are they a lot easier to get warmer quicker, should we say, or a lot easier to get up to the desired setting?
From what I understood, so obviously it was potentially lost in translation, which was a Maple Leaf when we were in Taiwan. They just work straight away.
Okay.
There should be almost no warm-up period. It should be a case of you putting it over the chrono, and it should just work for you straight off the bat, because the grip level is what is dependent and changing here.
Okay.
So yeah, there shouldn't be any kind of
deviation.
Yeah. It should just work for you.
Fantastic. So we saw how quickly you've just got the barrel out, put the new bucking on, and put the nub in.
Yeah.
So I think we've already asked this, but would you definitely recommend this as like a starting mod, like regardless if it was a KWA gun, a G&G, any brand of gun? Would you say changing the bucking and nub is a good starting modification?
Yeah, it's going to make the most difference, certainly. It's one of the things that, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the manufacturers don't care about their buckings and nubs in their guns, they certainly do. But what you'll find is just that a really high quality part that is so easy to change is just always worth it. As we mentioned before, just it being concave and matching the viewer, how the patch actually matches is such a massive improvement.
Because it's got a sort of aperture, doesn't it, in the shape of a triangle. I'm assuming that is just to give it more range.
Exactly, that's
accuracy.
it. So I mean, even this one, as I mentioned before, that the MR hot rubbers, they say will lift fours. I know that for certain because I use them.
Yeah.
This one again should, in theory, be able to lift at least up to 360s, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
Even on the stock barrel.
Okay. Good. That's good to hear.
So we should be able to adjust the spring is there. She's slid out.
So we're putting the barrel back into the upper receiver now, and you guys saw how easy that was to do. KWA may be a bit slightly more complex than some other brands.
Yeah, definitely, because of the way that this is set up. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't say that they're complex, but I'd say that compared to others, it might catch you out, which is
Yeah.
completely fair, you know.
So just take your time if you're doing modifications.
Yeah, it's just this plate here to be careful of. And as I say, when you are removing your upper receiver, make sure that you are using your butterfly charging handle, because it will grip onto the upper receiver. Yeah, so it's just going to pull it. And then again, I say something I always forget to do, the window is going to catch on your front body pin. So yeah.
Just make sure that's all.
And then again, when putting them back together, make sure that your bolt release is not catching. Just slide it all back together, make sure it all lines up.
There we go, that's a nice fit there.
There we go.
Wait for the pop.
And yeah, and you should just push it back in by finger. And then that is done.
Fantastic. Right, Joe, well, thank you very much for showing us and the guys how to do that. It's always a great thing just asking another tech's opinion and advice on how they would do things. So just could you show the viewers again what we're putting on at the end, the scope and the PEC box. We're not going to put it on just yet, we'll show you guys the photos shortly. But yeah, do you want to just...
Certainly, yeah. So again, we have the Gen 2 Razor from Vortex, the UH one of the Huey, as I've always nicknamed it. Completely night vision compatible, nice quick disconnect mount, so if you ever do need it off in a hurry to be able to use your backup irons, because you know they're stopped by a magnifier or something, nice and easy to get off. And then yeah, and then a new Pro PEC 15, which yeah, let's say has the active IR capability, both visible and infrared laser. So you can actually use it with night vision if that's something you want to use.
Fantastic. Well, thank you very much, Joe. Guys, definitely make sure to check out BZ. They don't just sell all your tactical gear and consumables, they are also licensed KWA, is that correct?
Yeah, so we're the distributor in the UK for them, so any parts, any repair, anything you need from it, as long as it's been bought and brand new in the UK, come see us, we'll sort you out.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Joe. Cheers.
Absolute pleasure.